It is August. Welcome back to Crouch's Farm. It is our 12-month, our 1-year anniversary here. And if you're new, welcome. Thanks for joining me. We started with the minimum amount of money, 100 grand. No land, no equipment. We can't lease any equipment. We can only use what we own. And so far, we now have 3 fields, 80, 81, and 82, all growing grass, which we're producing silage from, with the end goal being 2,000 goats. That's what's going to turn this city slicker into a farmer. And I've been having so much fun. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. However, we are starting our anniversary with 3,948 cash buck dollary dues. And what I would really like to achieve is to plow the 3 fields together. So we own these 3 fields here. 82 actually has quite a little bit more space around the side and around the back. The plan being, I was originally planning on building my homestead here on field 79 and then purchasing 77 and 78 again to, merge into one big field. However, if I put my homestead here, I've been using this little track through the woods here in between these 2 little lakes to get into town. However, I'm thinking that 76 here would make way more sense to have as my main property, because it's right there by the main road that heads on into town, which gives me all this space down here to either turn into goat paddocks or fields or whatnot, and then it also gives me this space up here. This is where I'm thinking I might put the goats eventually, up in this area here. And then, just merge all of this into one huge, big, giant, grass paddock, which would take 400 years to mow. But that's the loose plan at the moment. However, here at the beginning of our 1 year, greenhouses don't seem to be producing a lot of stuff. Oh, that little bit of grass there's been annoying me for ages. Let's just give it a quick... I think we can go to painting here with some concrete. Just want to get rid of these couple of bits of grass here. They've been... Yeah, there we go. That's better. Oh, yes, I better just check that I've got saving on. We do. Because if we manage to catch episode 11... I have already recorded episode 12. In fact, I recorded episode 11 and episode 12 during a big mammoth gaming session. And I've totally forgot to save my progress. So I replayed episode 11. And now we're replaying episode 12. So let's make sure that we're going to save this little bit of gone grass. It is a slightly different texture, isn't it? Anyway, beside the point. This is very close to spitting out a bunch of stuff. 2,934 litres of water. Oh, goodness me. I need to change this sad little 2,000 litre barrel. So there's nothing here at the moment, sadly. Oh, actually, we do have a pallet of lettuce. That's $2,000 right there. And we have a little bit of goat's milk, which we can... This has never really excited me. I wonder if I can smooth this out a little bit. Let's have a look. Sculpting, smoothing. Just to make that a little bit nicer to drive around on. Ah, well, that looks a bit better. So we have a little bit of goat's milk. We've got 1 full pallet, 1,000 litres, and about another 1,000, 437 litres to be precise. What is the price? How do we look at the price of stuff? What is the price of goat's milk? Here we go, goat milk. Sort of down at the lower end of things. So maybe we'll wait until next month to see if we can maybe get 2 pallets, and then we'll sell them up at the dairy for 4,844. I'm not going to wait until January, where it seems to be the peak. So at the moment, there's not a great deal to do on the farm, sadly. All 3 fields are growing, 100% fertilized. I need to get a roller. I need to get a plow. But we have no money. We have 1 pallet of lettuce we can sell, but again, you know, none of these are big money makers right now. What is the price of lettuce? Lettuce. 1,790. I'm still getting the best price at my little kiosk, but the price is down. I don't understand this because it says here 1,790, but the last time I sold some pallets of lettuce, I got over $2,000. So I don't know. Is it adding tax or something in? I don't know, because it says 1,790, but if we sell that pallet, I'm sure we're going to get more. Anyway, so there's not much there. The silage that's down on that trailer over there. Oh, I keep trying keybinds from another game that I'm playing. That I was expecting it to zoom in. So I've got some silage down here. We've got 9 bales of silage, but again, it's only around 50% fermented. 44%. So sadly, there's not much to do on Crouch's farm right now. So I suppose we're probably going to have to churn through a couple of contracts. Oh, I do enjoy a bit of bale wrapping, so we'll do that for sure. Cultivating is nice and straightforward, so we'll do that. Deadwood out on the other side of town. If I had a plow, these would be good to do. Another wood transport. All right, let's do this cultivating contract first to get our 12-month anniversary kicked off. And hopefully, by the end of the day, by the end of the day, the back and forward with the water tank to put water into the greenhouses I can deal with. But I think getting the plow should be the priority. This one is only 1.2 meters wide. We've been through this before. I can use this on the John Deere, but this one requires 160 horsepower. Oh, what's in the specials? No, nothing. We did miss out on a more powerful tractor that went up for sale a couple of months ago, but we didn't have the cash buck dollary-doos. Anyway, let's go get this cultivating contract sorted out. Oh, we're right there by the cultivator. That's quite nice. Let's do that. Makes sense. And I guess we'll see how we go. It's early morning. It's 20 to 7. We've got our time set to 5 times speed. Again, another one of the rules of this City Slicker to Farmer challenge. Let's find out where we're going, and it's all the way up north. And get this done. Alrighty. Back to the farm to get the bale wrapping equipment. And then on to the second contract. Actually, let's cash this in while we're here. Saving. Good idea, Crouchy. It's taking a bit of time to do a bit of saving, isn't it? There we go. Let's cash that in. Do a quick check for any more cultivating. Oh, there is another one here. Oh, just around the corner. Let's do this one as well before we head back. Might as well. We've got the equipment. Perfect. I do enjoy these. I want to get a bigger cultivator. Not a priority at the moment. Another field cultivated. I've got a feeling August and September are going to be contract months where, you know, it's just going to be contract after contract to get some cash buck dollary dues in the bank account so we can... I was going to say pick up the plow and expand the grass field. But, I mean, we want goats. Another goat pen's going to cost me 40 grand. By the time I expand out at the, you know, the fencing and all that sort of stuff. A standard goat pen costs 14 grand. And it fits 19 goats. I spent about, about 40 grand. Outfitting the current goat pen. Let's cash in the contract and see if there's any cultivating around before we head back to the farm to grab the baling equipment. Because no doubt we'll go back there, get the baling equipment, and then a cultivating contract will turn up. No. Let's head back. Contract complete. I like those baling ones. They're nice and simple. We used one box of bale wrap. Let's cash in that contract. Of course, a cultivating contract has popped up. Let's complete that. So we know that by the time I drove back to the farm to go get the cultivating equipment, another baling contract's, gonna pop up. Oh, a mowing contract. We could get the cultivator and the mower. This one's at 29. And this one's at 20. Let's do these two. It's going to be a month of contracts, but at least we're getting some cash buck dollary dues. We're up to 10 grand. Back to the farm. All right, it's midday. Finishing up this last cultivating contract. There we go. Job's finished. It really bothers me that you're not able to finish like the field. There's always like a little bit left over. It's never properly 100% finished. It bugs me. But it does allow someone who's not very good at driving to really cut all of the corners. All right, let's check and see what's going on. In the old contracting world, oh, a big one just around the corner. Let's grab that. All right, we finished these ones. A nice 3,000. Oh no, is this one of the nightmare fields going up the hill? And we could be in for a very slow cultivating session. All right, let's, oh God, it is. Oh dear, we need a more powerful tractor. Alright, another contract. It's midday. Up to 14,790. Let's see what we can get done. It's been a slow field, but we've done it. Contract complete. Again, with a little runway left over. Very annoying. Right. It's almost 2 o'clock. I do like this 5 times speed. You know, the day is really moving on, which is quite nice because we can't just keep grinding out contracts for the day. All right. No more baling contracts. Deadwood is reasonably close to where we are at the moment, so let's do the Deadwood. Quick, easy, grand. We're up to 17,883. We could have a look. Ooh. We don't need another baler. Not at this point. No. No. Let's not look at this. What we want to have a look at are these plows. Okay, so we can afford this one that's 16 grand, but we don't have the horsepower to use it. And in reality, we just want to merge together some very small driveways, essentially. And yes, it's not a great width. It'll take time, but at the end of the day, we can use it and it will merge together our fields. Let's keep this in mind for perhaps the end of the day. In the meantime, let's head on down and get this Deadwood contract complete. I am really considering that plow. It'll allow us to merge the fields together and create that one huge big grass field. It'll allow us to expand it a little bit because each of the properties that we've bought have extra land, which we can plow into grass fields to increase our yield. And the reality is, I'm not going to be able to afford a new tractor for a while until next year sometime. So I think we'll just concentrate on getting this Deadwood done. We'll head back to the farm. We'll see where we go from here. I should probably leave. Oh yes, here we go, crashing into that car. I should probably just leave all this equipment here. Oh God, this is that terrible crossing. That's this one specifically. Am I going to be able to get the cultivator over it? Yes. We probably should have just left all of this down by the tracks. All right. We are in the zone. We'll get this done. We'll head back to the farm and consider where we go from there. All right, we're back on the property. We've got produce, 4 pallets of stuff. Not quite some in the greenhouse to go, but it is low on water. Excuse me, 2,000 litres. Excuse me. But we've got some produce. We've got some lettuce. I think we're just going to sell all of that. We're going to leave the goat's milk for a little while. Let's get all of this stuff sold. That's going to put us somewhere in the region of hopefully 25 grand. And then we need to make a decision about, you know, the plow. I'm not sure about that plow just yet. See if we can grab both of these together. Oh, kind of. Oh, no! All right, lettuce. Not the greatest camera angle. 2,000. Oh, I got $1 extra for one of the pallets. See, now this I don't understand. $2,083. Let me know in the comments if, you know, what I'm thinking is... Whoa, I don't know what I'm thinking. Here's lettuce at my small farmer's kiosk, 1,735. But I sold them for over 2 grand. So where do I actually see the price that I'm going to sell stuff at? Because this isn't the price. Bit weird. All right, let's get the other produce into the market. $936. So obviously nothing else is worth as much as the lettuce is. But again, you know, we want to keep it somewhat thematic. You know, we're not just chasing cash buck dollary doos for the sake of cash buck dollary doos. Strawberries. 1,000 litres of strawberries is going to be worth... Let's have a look. 961. All right, we'll get all of this stuff sold. Okay, 26,939. So, you know, on average about 1,000 cash buck dollary dues per pallet. A long time away, got enough water. What's this one doing? It's got a couple of pallets that might come out later today. Lettuce, spring onions, and some Napa cabbage, and needs water. A little less than 2,000 litres. 2,500 litres, and we're not going to get any more lettuce. It's 3:15. Let's have a quick look. Saving the content. Yes, please. Fertilizing contracts. Deadwood. Just down the road. We might jump on the bike and quickly do this and see what those greenhouses are like when we get back. But the day is moving on. I'm tempted by that plow. I mean, we can always sell it and buy a bigger plow later on. Excuse me. Let's check on the silage. It was about 45% in the morning. It might be, 62%. It might be good for sale next month in September. Not exactly sure. I think it should be. Anyway, let's stuck down and do this deadwood, and see how we go. I'm tempted by that smaller plow. Again, we can sell it when we get a bigger tractor, and we can get a bigger plow later on. But for now, we just really need it to be able to plow up those roadways between the fields. Because I think silage at the moment is going to be our biggest earner until we get more goats. Oh, actually, having said that, I could put another goat pen in. The goat pen is 14 grand. Plus we need to stock it. If I don't do any modifications to the fences, we just put a standard pen in. And then, perhaps a little bit later on, we can start to talk about upgrading, these paddocks, these pens, to actual barns, which seem to have a much higher capacity later. But I think the cheapest one is like 48 grand, whereas just a pen is 14. I do need to keep them watered in the pen, whereas in the barns, it doesn't look like you need to water them. Just provide them with feed. All right, one more somewhere. We are trying to build a goat farm after all. And plowing together a little bit of driveway isn't really going to massively increase the size of the field. Whereas if we get some goats in a pen, they can start producing products relatively straight away. If we buy mature goats. Or I get another pen. Oh, that's a body of water. I get another pen and we just fill it full of baby sheep. And then they won't start producing anything for, is it 6 months? Where's me bike? All right, let's have a bit of a look. Let's complete that. $750. Animals. No, we want to go to the store. Animal dealer. Cows. I'm really tempted by some pigs. Goats. All right, so animals that are healthy and older than 8 months can reproduce. Goats produce goat milk, which can be sold directly or processed further. So at what age do they start producing milk? This animal has reached breeding age. Animals that are healthy and older than 8 months can reproduce. So a standard goat pen, let me get some math out, right? Let me get a calculator. Let me figure this out. Calculator. So it's going to cost 14. So hang on, wait. Let's clear this. We've got 27,000. Close this video. 680 minus 14. It's going to fit 19 goats. Let's put that into memory. How do I put that into memory? Oh. let's say, clear that, 200 times 19. 308 times 19. 77 times 19. 14. 14. Okay, so I've been running some numbers here. If I get a standard goat pen for 14 grand, I think that's how much they are, plus a little bit to do some landscaping. Don't do any modifications to the fences or anything. It's going to allow me to fit 19 goats in there. And if I put 19 16-month-old goats in there, I need a little bit more. However, those goats can reproduce. So I'm assuming for goats to reproduce, let's head back to the farm while we have a little discussion. I'm assuming for goats to reproduce, you need to have space in their enclosure for them to be able to, you know, if you can fit 19 goats in the pen and you've got 19 goats in there, they can't really reproduce, right? Because there's no extra space. Whereas if we say we buy, I don't know, 15 goats, yeah? So this is where I'm thinking of putting the second pen. Let's have a look. Construction. Oh, this would be quite nice. I think this is what I'm keen to do. Rather than, you know, the plow. Let's spin this around. So if we move it up sort of somewhere here, so $14,096. I really wish you could map out a building without actually committing to it. So lay out all the fences and everything so that you can get an idea of, you know, this is how much it's going to cost. Do you want to build this? Yes. Because I'm pretty sure if I click now, it's just going to start building the pen. See, the other pen we maxed out, really, didn't we? It can fit 25 goats in there, whereas the default one is only 19. Look, at the end of the day, this is all temporary because these are the barns that we want to be getting. Like a large sheep barn, 97, can fit 68. And how big is it? See, it's not even that much. It's not even that much bigger. Obviously, I'm assuming you can change the size of the paddock. So if you want them grazing on pasture, you can do that. But so these 26. So these two sheep barns are the same, although one's 51 grand more. Is 3 grand more. Why? I don't understand why. Look, at the end of the day, this is just temporary. We want goats. We need 2,000 of them for this city slicker to be considered an actual farmer. Can I lay it over the road? I can. So we can put one pen here, another pen here. We could fit 2 pens here. Oh God, I'm so conflicted. It's temporary, Crouch. It's temporary. Let's get this pen up the back here so we've got room for maneuvering around, perhaps storing goat's milk in the little corner there, feed, all that sort of stuff, rather than bringing it all the way up onto the roadway. That way all the space behind the field is just not going to get used, right? It's unusable space. I'm going to commit to this. It might be a silly decision, but I'm committing to it. 14 grand. Do I want to customize the fence? No. Do I want to plant meadow? Yes. Yes. I mean, need to do a little bit of smoothing out the front here. All right, that doesn't look too bad to me. Oh, God. Look, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Now, oh, they've got a lovely little tree in there for some shade. Now we need to buy some animals, right? Let's go to the animal dealer, which is in which menu? God, you know, eventually I will learn animal dealer. Okay, so we want sheep and goats into this new pasture. So if we max this out, right? I don't know how to max it out, but we go this way. So we don't have enough for 19 animals. But say if we put see, I don't know how often they breed. Is it like once a year, or I guess I'm going to find out, right? I'm a goat farmer. This is, you know, eventually I'll learn. We could put 12 mature goats in here. Maybe we can worry about breeding goats later on. Let's put 12 mature goats in here. I'm just going to commit to this. Let's do it. Spending our cash buck dollar dues. They've been purchased. And a couple of yearlings. So we can put 7 in, hey, for 2,420. Let's just buy them. They've been purchased. The field is full. Let's go have a look at our lovely little goatsies. Here they are. They need water. They need food. The goat farm grows. Look at them running around. Look at these cute little yearlings. We had 2 goats when I was younger, and they were terrifying. They would constantly chase you around. All right, we need feed for these new goats. It's probably a better way to do this than running backwards and forwards, but I shall do this and I shall get them watered. But we have our second goat pen. Yes! Let's get them taken care of. Okay, that is our new goats taken care of. We're going to get some lettuce, some spring onion, and some Napa cabbage very shortly. I'm just going to boost time a little bit. Let's just boost some time. We'll go times 60. Oh, are we going to get them before the end of the day? It's 5 o'clock. Oh, it doesn't look like it. All right, I don't think... Those might have to come out in September. We're pretty much at the end of the day. Let's just grab a couple of extra bales for these guys. Make sure that they're all topped up. I think the next grass harvest, we're going to have to keep some of the grass, aren't we? We're definitely going to need more grass. If I'm going to be earning an income from silage and trying to feed 2,000 goats, we're going to need to be... We're going to need a lot of grass. Right, that's these guys taken care of. Very happy. And then these guys over here, very happy. And we've got another 19 goats and $1,190 in the bank account at the end of the first year. We've got 1,000 litres of milk. We've got 1,667 litres of milk to sell when the price gets better. We've got some produce coming out of the greenhouse next month. The first 12 months here on Crouch's farm have been pretty good. Starting with 0 land, 0 equipment, zero idea about Farm Simulator. Never played it before. We now own 3 fields, a range of equipment, 3 greenhouses, 25 plus 19, what's that, 35, I don't know, 45 goats, a little farm shop. It's pretty exciting. I think this is episode 12, which fits in nicely. 12 episodes, 12 months, 1 year here on Crouch's farm. I guess we'll come back in September and see what's going on. I think our fields will be ready to harvest. Again, it seems very quick. I'm cutting this grass every 2 months. Harvest it, then the next month it's growing, and then the next month it's ready to harvest. It's pretty exciting. So if you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here with me on my adventures here in Farming Simulator 25. I'm absolutely loving this game. Our 12-month anniversary, our 1 year on the farm. The goats are happy, healthy. We've got produce. We've got fields. But we've got a long way to go. I'll see you in our 2nd year in September.